Good morning, friends. Happy, what is it, Friday? Today is Friday and I am off. So that makes the Friday so stinking happy and so stinking good. But today, guys, I want to give you guys a book haul. I went shopping at various places, which range from Goodwill to Barnes and Noble and Bam, I don't feel like, and the bookstore in my city. I don't feel like I went to Target this time, and Walmart with this vlog, with this book haul. So those are pretty much like the places that I went when I went book shopping at different periods of time throughout the week, throughout the month of November. And guys, happy December. Happy December. It is the last month in the year. And y'all, I just love December. I don't know what it is, but I love a December month because it is just the festive things that they do, the reason for the season, and it just brings me so much happiness and joy. I like Thanksgiving as well, but not as much as I like the Christmas holidays because of the decoration, the lights, and things of that nature. So I can clearly say Christmas is my best season of the year that I actually really enjoy having, y'all. So thank you for joining me. My name is Yolanda. For those who are new, I am Yolandas Books, and here we like to talk about books, read books, go book shopping, do bookish events, just anything books I love to do. I am such a huge book reader, and I just cannot go into a store and not get a book for before I walk out of the store. I try my best to do those things, but I just cannot do it. Wish I had me a chapstick in front of me because my lips feel kind of dry. But guys, let's get straight into this haul. So the first book that I got, and this stack of books came from Goodwill, is One by One by Ruth Ward. I have read a book by this author, which I will be telling you guys about in my November wrap up, which was The Woman in Cabin B. I think I gave that book a 3-star. I think that was the very first book that I ever read by this author, so I'm not sure how her writing is actually capturing me. But I did pick up this One by One by that author. And it says, getting snow in at a luxurious rust ski lodge high in the French Appalachians doesn't sound like the worst problem in the world, especially when there's a breathtaking vista, a full-service chef, and a housekeeper of a cozy fire to keep you warm, and others to keep you company, unless that company happens to be 8 co-workers, each with something to gain, something to lose, and something to hide. Wow. I mean, I wonder how bad could that be unless the person and these 8 coworkers do not have anything in common. When the co-founder of Snoop, a trendy London-based tech startup organization, organized a week-long trip for a team in the French Appalachians, it starts out as a corporate retreat like any other. PowerPoint presentations and strategies sessions broken up by mandatory bonding on the slopes. But as soon as one shareholder upends the agenda by pushing a but contentious buyout offer, tension simmers and loyalties are tested. The storm brewing inside the lodge is no match for the one brewing outside. However, a devastating Appalachian leaves a group cut off from all access to the outside world. Even worse, one snooper hadn't made it back from the slopes when the avalanche hit. As each hour passes without any signs of rescue, panic mounts and the lodge grows colder and the group dwindles farther one by one. When I first started reading the synopsis, I was like, especially when they got to the point of when, they were saying that it was 8 of them from a company that was on this retreat, and then like one of them some kind of way like was disagreeing with the group. I thought it was going to be like how would I say it, like some back and forth things going on, but then when they say that the lights all went out, somebody hadn't came back from being out on the slopes, is like it started high and then it kind of died for me with reading the synopsis. So I hope I enjoy this book. I don't know if that ever happened to me before, but like the synopsis had me all up in the air and then it just dropped me down on the ground. So hopefully I will like that book. The next one is a psychological suspense. It is by author I have never read from before, Christina Aguirre. It's called Girls Like Us. And I read the synopsis of this book and it kind of like reminds me of Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. It's just pretty much about a FBI agent who hasn't been home in 10 years. Neil and her father, who is a homicide detective, Martin Flynn, didn't have the best relationship. He ends up dying, so she had to come home to like spread his ashes and things of that nature, like her mom is already dead. And then when she got to the actual, because she's an FBI agent as well, and when she had to do that, she was like drawn into trying to solve murders of 2 young girls in that county. So this one kind of like reminds me of Gillian Flynn's Sharp Object. So I hope it has a different twist to it than what the Gillian Flynn Sharp Object book had to it, because I just don't want to feel like I'm reading another book of the same type and the same plot and all the things just by a different author. I do not like to read books of that nature. Like, give me a different plot. Give me a different scenery. Give me something different, even though it kind of stems around the same thing, but just lead me in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? And I have always heard about books by Read with Jenna. I've always heard that they are some actually very, very good books if they made it to the cut to be in on this site. So I seen this one at Goodwill. It's Jamie Ford, The Many Daughters of Afong Mong. I don't even know how to pronounce all of that. The author, I guess, is Jamie Ford. And I don't know how I feel about this book. I don't know how I will feel about this book. But like I said, when it's with Reading with Jenna, I feel like they really, really cut a very strict cut. But it says Dorothy Mong, Moy, breaks her own heart for a living. As Washington's former poet, that's how she describes channeling her episodes and mental health struggles into her art. But when her 5-year-old daughter exhibits similar behavior and begins remembering things from the lives of their ancestors, Dorothy believes that the past has truly come to haunt her. It says also that this author wrote Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. I'm not sure, guys. I don't know what I picked up when I picked up this book, but just by the place that it's associated with, I was thinking that it probably will be a good book. We will see. And I read The Maid by Nikita Pross, and I really did end up liking that book, y'all. I really like that book. So I have this one saving on audio, but I did not have the book, and I did not see it in the book at the library, but I do have the I don't know if this is the third and the last book in that series, but I do have this one, and I wanted to read them in order. And when I went to Goodwill, I actually saw this book, The Mystery Guest, and I was so glad that I found it, because it's coming up as me reading the next book in the series, and it's still about Molly Gray. It says a new mess, a new mystery is up to Molly. the maid to uncover the truth no matter how dirty. Now, the first one, it was a little dirty, but not too dirty. So I'm just wondering, like, what is she solving now? Like, what dirtiness that she has to clean up now? So it's just pretty much is based on at least the first one, and I'm thinking that the second one too is about Molly Gray. She works at a 5-star regional Grand Hotel, and I guess like different things is just happening in this hotel, and with her being the 5-star maid for that hotel, like she is just prone to be drawn into any and everything that goes on in this hotel that is not right. So this one says Molly Gray is not like anyone else. With her fair flair for cleaning and proper etiquette, she has risen through the ranks of the glorious 5-star regional Grand Hotel to become the esteemed head maid. Okay, so now she's the head maid in this one. So this probably will be kind of interesting. On the first one, she wasn't the head maid. She was just a very detailed, very etiquette. Like, she really did take pride in how her cart looked, how her uniform looked, how her rooms looked that she actually cleaned. So she was very, very into her work. But now in book 2, she actually is the head maid of this regional Grand Hotel. So it says, but just as her life reaches a pinnacle state of perfection, her world is turned upside down when J.D. Grimthorpe, the world-renowned mystery author, drops dead, very dead, on the hotel tea room floor. So the person drops dead, and oh, y'all, I am so ready to read this book already. I don't want to say anything because, like, the maid is actually will be on my TBR for that I will talk to you guys about for December. Okay, so in this one, he drops very very dead in the bed. And in this one, which is in the synopsis, y'all, it says that this J.D. Grimthorpe drops dead, very dead, on the hotel tea room floor. So I'm just so interested to know, like, how is this one going to play out with him dropping dead on the tea room floor? So that seems like it is a very open place that this person dropped dead at. As far as in the maid, she found the person actually in the bed, Mr. Black. So guys, the actual audio for this, I think I'm like the second person in line or whatever. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually wait on the audio to start reading this book, or I am going to just start reading this book without the audio, and when it becomes available, just pick up from there. Oh God, y'all. But this one is called The Mystery Guest by Nikita Prose. I hope I'm saying that name right. Alright guys, this stack right here comes from Walmart. Either the Walmart in my city or like another Walmart that I visit, probably like in Tallahassee or Moultrie, Georgia, which I think is probably like either my city or Tallahassee, Florida. But, and I must say, guys, and I am so stinking disappointed because the Walmart in my city, the books are trash. Like, the book selection is trash. They have the same books there all the time. They don't have anything different. And I don't feel like they actually, if they do have the different books there, they don't have enough, because like whenever I go, I might see a different book than I seen from when I was there before, but it's like the same book selection. And then it's like books that I am not interested in, but I'm not the only one book shopping. I know, but I just feel like if the book selection in Cairo, Georgia, the book selection in Moultrie, Georgia, if the book selection in Tallahassee, Florida can be like huge, all different types of books, just a very good variety of books, I feel like the one in my city should be that way too. But hey, I'm just a shopper there, right? But I just wish my city had a better selection of books for us people who just love to read. So anyway, like I said, this stack came from Walmart's. And the first one is a book that every time I go into a Walmart, I see this book. I want to pick this book up, but I don't. So this time I picked it up. It is a James Patterson book. And I think this is a book that was just written by him. I have not been that intrigued about the books that has been written by him and another person, because I don't know, they just does not hit for me like the one that I have read. But anyway, this one is a James Patterson book, Cross, Along Came a Spider. This cover, this book, I've seen it on, I want to say, is it Netflix or Prime? Previews of it, and I'm like, God, y'all, I seen that book and I really kind of want to pick that book up, but I don't know if I really want to. So I did pick it up this time, and it is a thriller. Y'all know I love a thriller. I love romance thrillers, like just all the things, guys. And it says, Along Came a Spider. It begins with a double kidnapping of the daughter of a famous Hollywood actress, and the young son of a secretary of the treasurer. Gary is a murderous serial kidnapper who wants to commit the crime of the century. Alex Cross is the brilliant homicide detective pitted against him. And Jessie is the female supervisor of the Secret Service who completes one of the most unusual suspense triangles in any thriller you have ever read. So, sounds interesting. It sounds like it should be fast-paced. I'm hoping that it's fast-paced. The books that I have read by James Patterson of his own has been okay. As far as being a thriller book, this book has over 300 and some pages in it. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a fast-paced book with it being a thriller, with having over 300 and some pages in it. Like, how fast can it be? Like, how long is it going to take them to get to where they need to be in this book? I hope it is not that long at all. So I did pick up James Patterson, Cross, Along Came a Spider. And I think I mentioned Melissa, the girl who actually encouraged me to pick up The Poison We Drink. I put her handle up on another video that y'all should have already saw. And she ranted and raved about this book, Wicked, by Gregory Magrier. I'm not quite sure how to say that name. Y'all know I will murder a author's name. So maybe I need to start looking up how to say the author's name before I start doing my videos. But she ranted and raved about this book. I want to say it is this book. It's called Wicked. So I've seen it on a couple of different occasions, and I'm like, I'm not that big of a fantasy kick. But when I actually picked up the book, The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste, and it was a book that she talked about that she really liked. And so I was like, ooh, this book was good. So I decided to pick up another book that I seen her rant and rave about. It says, years before Dorothy and her dog crash land. So as you can see, this is pretty much like a retelling of The Wizard of Oz. Kind of, I guess. Another little girl makes her presence known in Oz. This girl, Ephalabula, I don't know how to say that name, is born with emerald green skin, no easy burden in land as mean and poor as Oz, where superstition and magic are not strong enough to explain or overcome the natural disasters of floods and famine. Still, I don't know how to say that name, is smart, and not long after entering Shy University, she becomes a member of a charmed circle of Oz's most promising young citizens. But Oz is no euphoria. The wizard's secret police are everywhere. Animals, those creatures with voices, souls, and minds, are threatened with exile. Young green and wild and misunderstood, is determined to protect the animals, even if it means combating with the mysterious wizard, even if it means risking her single chance at romance. Ever wiser in guilt and sorrow, she can find herself graceful when the world declares her a witch, and she can even make herself glad for that young girl from Kansas. It is like a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, but this Gregory guy kind of really put a twist to it. So I'm very interested to read this book because he really put a twist to the story of The Wizard of Oz. So I'm very interested to see how the twist actually pans out. And it says that he has actually sold over 6 million copies. So I'm hoping that this book is very, very good. I have read a book by this author. It's called Thousand Boy Kisses. And I really did enjoy that book, but it was the saddest thing. Oh my God, y'all. The book was so sad. It was a very good book, but Tilly Cole really made you get very attached to the characters in that book, and you got so attached to the characters in that book till all the things that they had to go through, you was either happy with them, you was either sad with them, you was either mad with them. And like this book, that book really did make me cry. Like, I have that book on my shelf. I will not give that book away because I will always want to read that book when I just feel like I want to cry. So we picked up this one. The cover was stunning. So I just had no reason not to pick this book up. I think it's a standalone. I don't think it is a series of any kind. Has the sprayed edges. Y'all know I love books with sprayed edges. And it's called A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole. Never heard of this book. Never saw this book. This was the first time I actually seen this book. It says a story of music, a story of healing, a story of love conquering all. 19-year-old Crimwell Dean is the rising star of electric dance music. Thousands of people adore him, but no one knows him. No one sees the color of his heart until the girl in the purple dress breaks through this wall to the darkness within. After Crimwell leaves behind the gray skies of England to study music and the South Carolina heat, the last thing he expects to see that girl again. And he certainly doesn't expect that she'll stay in his head like a song on repeat, but she does. Guys, I just love stuff like that. Like, it's like a perfect beginning of a relationship. It's like a perfect relationship. Like, guys, did y'all hear that? And he certainly doesn't expect that she'll stay in his head like the song on repeat, but she does. Y'all know how we just constantly listen to that same song like over and over and over again. So he like thinks about this particular girl over and over again. That is so sweet. Bonnie lives for music. She lets every note into her heart, and she doesn't understand how someone as talented as Crimwell can avoid doing the same. He's hiding from his past, and she knows it. She tries to stay away from him, but something keeps calling her back. Bonnie is the burst of color in Crimwell's darkness. Oh, y'all. He's the beat that makes her heart skip. But when a shadow falls over Bonnie, it's up to Crimwell to be her light in the only way he knows how. He must help her find the lost song in her fragile heart. He must keep her strong with a symphony only he can compose. A symphony of hope, a symphony of love, a symphony of them. Oh, Y'all, I just love books like this. So the cover really kind of mimics what the synopsis of this book is. And I don't want to say it's either like first chance at love, true love, second chance at love. And the reason why I say like a second chance at love with this one is because like they are making each other remember why they love this or why they love that, that they actually like they have forgotten about. Guys, I want to read that book. And here's another Emily Henry book. It's called Hecht. And this is a standalone book. A lot of people think that this book actually goes with the series of books that she got, like Hooked, Wrecked, Scarred, Crossed, all those books. But this is not a book that goes with that series. To my understanding, this is a standalone book that she just threw out there. And of course, you know, Emily Henry is a fantasy writer because like it is like the retelling of something. I don't even know what the retelling is because I saw this book in Walmart a couple of times and I was like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. And then that one particular day, I was like, I'm going to get that book. So I picked this book up and I'm glad that I did because I did like her writing in Hooked. I think I read Hooked. I read Scarred. I read Twisted, but I did not read Wrecked and Crossed. I don't know if I'm going to read them or not, but I did not read those. But the 3 books that I read, I really did enjoy those books. Guys, very, very, very pretty cover. And it says, Vanessa Anderson has never been good. She wasn't good enough for her parents, and she isn't good enough for the gangster uncle who took her in after they died. But she's cunning, beautiful, dutiful to her uncle's demands. And she doesn't have time for a mortal compass anyway. When her runaway cousin returns to their coastal southern town, she brings a man with her. And Vanessa soon realizes he's the only one who's ever seen her for her. There's just one problem. She can never have him. Izzo, lover boy, is a wealthy businessman by day and a prince of underworld by night. Unbossed to a notorious mafia, he answers to no one except his father, the strongest Don in the Northeast. When he's tasked with marriage, Izzo doesn't think twice until he meets his fiance's cousin. It's not really ringing a bell on me of what the retelling of this book is. Vanessa is everything he never knew he wanted, bewitching him with her sultry voice and supple curves. But Izzo learned long ago that for a man like him, life is better without the things you want. When plans unravel and temptation sing its serene song, they'll both have to choose who's more important, duty to their families or forbidden love that was never supposed to be. He's a prince of La Costa Nostra. She's the witch who steals his heart. So guys, I don't know, my mind is slipping me. So like, what retelling is this? So drop it down in the comments, guys. I see the shell, but I don't know. My mind is just, it's not working. Like, I don't know what the retelling of this one is. And yes, I think this is a standalone book. She does have a series called the Sugarland series. It says beneath the stars, beneath the stands, beneath the hood, beneath the surface. And then she has the Never After series, Hooked, Scarred, Wrecked, Twisted, and Crossed. And then this one also says a Never After novel. But to my understanding, like I said, this is a standalone book. This does not go with that Never After series. So guys, help me out. Drop down in the comments. Let me know What retelling is this book? Because my mind is just really not working right now. So I don't know. Drop it in the comments and let me know, guys. So, y'all, this is the last book that I got from Walmart. And you know, during this time of the year, sometimes your inner child comes out. There's a podcast that I have to record, and it will be recorded and it will be posted to Spotify, which Spotify is the only place that I am at right now. So I will put it up in my community tab on YouTube. I will post it on Instagram, TikTok, all the things, and I'll let you guys know when that podcast is actually up. But it's called My Christmas Bucket List. And during this time of the year, more than other times, my inner child comes out because of just what Christmas, the month, and the season is about. So I go see the lights on a number of occasions throughout the month, and I like the Christmas movies and everything. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like, guys, I just really like the reason for the season and the things that come with the reason for the season. So I was in Walmart and I picked up a J.K. Rowling book. It is a Christmas book. Spray edges, so Christmassy, and it's called The Christmas Pig. This is what the book looks like. Doesn't it just scream, bring out your inner child and just have fun for the season? I know it does because it does for me. So it says one boy and his toy are about to change everything. Jack's beloved toy, the pig, has always been there for him. Until one Christmas Eve, something terrible happens. DP is lost. But Christmas Eve is a night for miracles and lost causes. And when DP's replacement, the Christmas pig, magically comes to life, they embark on a thrilling journey through the land of the lost to rescue the best friend Jack has ever known. So I just think this is going to be a cutesy little book. I love the cover of the book. I love the way it is just screaming Christmas. I love the illustrations that they have in this book. I just feel like this book is just going to be such a cute little cutesy read for the reason for the season. So yeah, The Christmas Pig by J.K. Rowling. All right, guys. So the next selection that I have came from Books A Million. I actually picked up these on a day that I had got off from work, and I was like, I'm not stopping by the bookstore. I'm not stopping by the bookstore, and I stopped by the bookstore. So Books A Million, of course. The first one is The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. I seen this book on one of Shaughnessy's vlogs, and I don't even think that she has actually read this book, but she picked this book up, and she usually picks up a lot of great books, so I decided to pick this one up. I have been wanting to pick this one up for quite some time because I just love the cover of it, but I did not want to pick it up in hardback because the hardback was just so expensive, and I did not know if I was going to like this book or not. So I finally found it at BAM in a paperback. And it says July 1962, following the tradition of the workers of Nova Scotia, some kind of family arrives in Maine to pick blueberries for the summer. Weeks later, 4-year-old Ruthie, the family's youngest child, vanishes. She is last seen by her 6-year-old brother, Joe, sitting on a favorite rock at the edge of a berry field. Joe will remain distraught by his sister's disappearance for years to come. In Maine, a young girl named Norma grows up as the only child of a family. Her father is emotionally distant, her mother frustratingly overprotective. Norma is often troubled by recurring dreams and visions that seem more like memories than imagination. As she grows older, Norma slowly comes to realize there is something her parents aren't telling her. Unwilling to abandon her intuition, she will spend decades trying to uncover this family secret. So, this is my first time reading the synopsis of this book here with you guys. And just by looking at the cover of this book, I don't think I would have thought that the synopsis or the plot of this book will be what it is. So this is going to be a very interesting read for me. And I just wonder, and I know that it says that she went missing while she was picking berries. And so with that being said, guys, I think that it was very unique, very self inner thought for them to use this cover for what this book is about. Like, it's about a person being missing, growing up their life, and they have a suspicion, or they've been having, dreams and everything about other people. And it just so happened to be that she became missing when she was picking berries. So I just think the title is so unique, and the cover of this book is so unique for it to be what the book is going to be about. Like, I know it's going to be about her picking berries, but I don't know. I just think that it's very nice. It's so neat that they use the cover and the actual title for this book. So very interested in reading that book. Finally picked up A Love Like the Sun by Reese Nielsen. I hope I'm saying that name right. Shaughnessy always talks about this book, y'all. Whenever she does her little shorts and things like that on Instagram and TikTok, she always talk about this book. She never will not miss a time talking about this book. The cover is absolutely beautiful, and it says raw, and this is about Emily Henry, y'all. Raw, vulnerable, breath-stealing love. Emily Henry said that. So I love to read books by, especially like when very good authors say different things about this book. And Charlene Abadaba, I hope that's how you say that name right. She is like the author of On Rotation. And it's a book that I have that she is an author by, and I have not read it yet, but this book here, this is the author that I am speaking of. She commented on this book as well: sexy, heartwarming, and soulfully human. So things like that really make me interested in reading and buying a book when it has such high rated authors talking about something in that book. But it says, just for one summer, Lana Thompson is a homebody who craves privacy, kind of like me. Isaiah Jordan is internet famous and spends his days followed by paparazzi. She runs a small business with her mom in her hometown. He runs an international brand, and they've been best friends since childhood. Oh, Carly Fortune even said something about this book. When Isaiah comes from a predominance for the first time in months and discovers Lana's dream is slipping out of reach as she and her mom struggles to pay the bills at Wiley Green, their natural hair store, she refuses to take a dime from him. And so he does what any self-respecting best friend would do: tells the world they're dating. So I wonder if this is kind of like a fake dating trope that's going to actually turn into true love. Suddenly, business is booming, and Alana agrees to his ridiculous plan to pretend to be lovers for the course of the summer, just long enough to catch the eye of the investor and get their dream back on track, like she helped him do so many years ago, he reminded her. Too soon, though. Lana knows she's playing with fire because for as long as they've been best friends, there's been an undeniable pull they've never given into. And so the lines between art and life, real and pretend, blur. It becomes harder to see whose friendship ends where friendships ends and where something else begins. Told over the course of 3 sizzling summer months. A Love Like the Sun is about shared history, those who make us our bravest selves, and love in its many forms. Glad I picked up this book. Glad I will be able to read this book. I don't know when I will read it, but y'all know I am a huge mood reader, so I'll probably pop it in at any point in time. The cover of this book is what brought my attention to this book. That is the reason why I picked up this book. It is called Never Date a Roommate by Paula Ottoni. She is a Brazilian author, and it is supposed to be like a heartwarming romance. It says to find true happiness, they'll have to they'll have to fake it first. Soul despairingly wants to get ahead in her career, and where better to do that than the Copenhagen, the happiest city on earth. I can't read, don't I? But there's more to this place than cozy sweaters and hot cocoa. There's a rich, vibrant culture of Brazilian game developer is eager to drink in. Especially since her boss wants to hand a promotion to someone who's ready to put down roots in Denmark, which means having a steady place to live and even steadier significant other. And Soul unfortunately has neither, unless she can convince Viking lookalike Eric Storm to be her roommate and maybe even her fake boyfriend. So this one also is like a fake dating trope for a person to get where they're trying to go. And hopefully, I guess they're just going to fall in love in the process. That's what it sounds like to me. So a lot of times I do want those type of, books. And then there's a lot of times I don't want to read those type of books. So it's good to have those books and other books on your shelf so that like you can shop your bookshelf and find the book that you actually want to read. This set of books came from the bookstore in my city, which I love to go to, which I am actually going to today of this video because there is another coffee cup or teacup that I want to get from them, and it is just in a different color. I am such a sucker for a nice cup that I drink my coffee or my tea out of, and so I got two of them. I got a blue one and I got a red one. And my heart is just telling me that I need the green one. So most likely I'll go back today and get the green one. But I got the Salt Water by Candice Allo. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that name. And guys, I usually, and this is by a Black author, I usually flip through my books just to see what the writing looks like because, I like page breaks. I like a lot of conversation, and I did not look through this one. And as I look through this one, I'm like, what did I get myself into? Like, am I going to enjoy this book? So I'm going to give it a try though. It says Jen is free everywhere except school, where they're known for repeating challenging authority. Raised in a free-spirited home by two loving parents who encourage Jen to be their full self, they've got big dreams of moving cross country to live off the grid with their friends for graduation. But a fight with the teacher spirals out of control, and Jen, I can't say her first name, so I'm going to just say the last name, impulsively drops out to avoid the punishment they fear to come, while wait for graduation to leave an oppressive system and live their dreams. Jen is truly brilliant, but their sheltered upbringing hasn't prepared them for the consequences of their choices, especially when it compiled by a family emergency that puts a parent out of work. Suddenly, the money they've been stacking with their friends is a resource that the family needs to stay afloat. It says, Salt the Water is a book about dreaming in a world that has other plans for you, for your time, youth, your future. It asks, what does it look like when a bunch of queer black kids are allowed to dream? And what does it look like for them to confront the present circumstances of the people they love while still pursuing a wildly different future for themselves? So, a heartfelt lament for what America could be, but chooses not to. So, is this a queer book, y'all? Like I said, I've never read anything by this author. I don't know anything about this author. The cover of this book just really took my attention when I was in the actual store. And the author is a first generation Nigerian American writer whose books center home. They are from the Midwest by way of Washington, D.C. and Brooklyn, New York. They are a proud alum of the Rhode Island Writers Colony, and their work has earned friendships from different places. Okay. Anyway, and it looks like it was... Oh, he has just different books that was written in different years. So when was this book written, y'all? Okay, so the copyright for this book is 2023, so fairly new. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. And if I don't like it, I'll just make sure it goes into a little free library so somebody else can try to pick it up and see if they like it. I'm hoping that I get to most of my holiday books, and like the holiday books that I don't get to, they'll just have to wait till the next Christmas holiday. But when I read my holiday books, guys, I read my holiday books like toward the end of December, November, all the way through the first of the year. Like, I feel like, holiday books can be read for as long as people are celebrating the season, and like as long as the decorations stay up. And I always like to let my decorations stay up like through the beginning of the year. So this one, Only for the Holidays, by this author right here. I saw this book at my local bookstore, and I just thought the cover of it was just so stunning, and I just needed to have this book. And it is by a Black author, and I just felt like I needed to have this book, y'all. I read the synopsis of it, I put it back, and then I went back to it because I was like, the cover is so stunning. It is about a Black people, written by a Black author. Like, I was going to give it a chance. And it says, City girl Ty is dreading the festive season. She and her boyfriend are on the break, and the last thing she wants is to spend Christmas away from London. Dragged to hedge formed by her mother, Tia takes an instant dislike to the countryside estate. She falls in horse manure, is chased by sheep, and Wi-Fi sucks. How can she stalk her ex and cobble a foolproof plan to win him back from here? Country boy Quincy Parker and his family run the farm, and this year they've been selected to host the biggest event in town, the Winter Ball. Preparations are underway, and Quincy is working around the clock to make it success while recovering from his own devastating breakup. So both of them had a breakup, y'all. And his was devastating, and actually hers was devastating too, if she want to like stalk him on the internet. The only problem is he's told everyone he has a date to the ball, which couldn't be farther from the truth. So again, a fake dating trope, but in a holiday situation. This is a YA book. Very, very cutesy. I'm so excited to read this book, and I will let you guys know how I feel about that book when I read it. And guys, we have this big hunka chunka monkey right here. I don't even know how to pronounce the name of this book or the author that has wrote this book. Okay, so what do you ask? Why did I pick up this book? Do y'all want to know how many pages this book has in it? This book has over 900 pages. Yeah. Okay, so let me explain. So I am actually a part of a book club, as you guys know. And one of my book club members, one of the members of the book club she had messaged me about this book and messaged me about the challenge that the bookshelf in my city has going on with this book. So when my mind was really actually on it, I went in there to get the book so that I can read the book also along with the city of Thomasville, but they did not have the book. So when I saw her at the book meeting that we had, I was like, well, they don't have that. I did not see that book, so I did not pick it up, all the things. So when I went there the other day, the book was there. I walked around the store with the book, contemplating if I am going to get the book. But I love the bookstore. I love listening to the front porch, which is their podcast. And I love going to the bookish events that they have in my city. So I decided to pick up the book and pick up the challenge that they are actually doing with this book. I think last time that they did this, I think they did Lonesome Dove. And I wish I really would have participated in that one because like a Lonesome Dove movie, I always love those movies. But I decided to enter or participate in this challenge that they are doing with this book. Hopefully I will like it. So yes, it has over 900 pages, but they have broke it up into 6, 7, 9, about 7 or 8 months that we are supposed to read it together. So like in January of 2025, we're supposed to read part 1. So you got to have a whole month to read part 1. Then you have a whole month to read part 2, 3, 4, and I guess part 4 is like extremely big. So you got like April and May to read part 4. And then it just goes on June part, the second part, like all through June, the second part. So guys, help me, pray for me, remind me that I have to read this book. It says widely regarded as the world's first modern novel and the one of the funniest and most tragic books ever written. Don Quixote chronicles the famous adventures of the noble knight era. I did it, and it's about the travels through 16th century Spain. Unless you read Spanish, you'll never read. It is just very dainty, very dainty synopsis of the book. So on the back of the book. So that's why I was like, what have I got myself into? Am I going to actually like this book? Am I going to be able to read this book for this challenge? So with you guys' encouragement, y'all help me be able to remember and to read this book for the challenge that I am actually entering myself in for the book store in my city is actually hosting. But yeah, guys, that is all the books that I got within a month's time. So very, very diverse selection, very good books. I feel like they're going to be very nice books, even all the way down to the books that I got from Goodwill. And I am very excited to add them to my collections on my shelves and to pull them out periodically. Just depends on what I want to read for that day or whatever, and read those books. Because as you guys know, I am a very, very huge mood reader. So if you guys enjoyed the content that I gave you guys today, which was a book haul, if you enjoy talking about books with me, talking about the different books that you can buy and that we can actually read together. However, just make sure you subscribe to my channel. There is a box down there at the bottom that says Yolandas Books. If you click on that box, it will subscribe you to Yolandas Books, and it will let you know whenever I am on YouTube or has posted anything on YouTube. And always, guys, send me your book recommendations. Drop down in the comments. Let me know if y'all have read any of these books, what your thoughts is on these books, and just anything that you guys want to talk about. And until I see you guys on my next video, I love you guys. We are 850 subscribers strong. We have almost 4,000 watch hours. We just need to keep piping on. So you guys tell a friend, get that friend to tell a friend, and just make sure that they subscribe to my channel. And let's blow out this year with the 4,000 watch hours that I need and the 1,000 subscribers that I need. So I'm asking you guys for your help to help me reach my goal for before the end of the year, which is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And I know we can do this, guys. So tell a friend, you tell a friend, tell them to tell a friend, but also make sure that they subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.